Alright, hello there, this is Money Chip. Welcome back to the channel. If you're wondering how to go from 0 to 792 in credit score as a college student, you're in the right place. In this video, I'll go ahead and show you guys how I was able to go from 0 to 792 in a very short amount of time as a college student with zero credit history, and how you can do the same thing pretty easily. It's not rocket science. So yeah, let me just jump right into it. So I have a Discover credit card, and you can see here my score currently is 770, but just a few months ago I was at 792. So, and I've had this credit card for 3 years. And when I first got it, I had no credit history, and I was a broke college student with very little money. But as you can see, after 3 years, you can get a good credit score like this. And to be completely honest with you, I don't know how to show you like the 2022 or 2023 years, but like I was able to get a credit score of around 700 something already after 1 year. And it's really not hard. All you have to do is just be a responsible credit card user. Make sure you pay your bills on time, and make sure you never pay late and never use a large amount of the credit that you have available. So it's really not that hard. You can see here I'm consistently over 740, 50. The only reason it dipped here is because during this month I bought a car and I used my credit card for a portion of the down payment. So, and they also did a hard credit inquiry on me. So, that's why I dropped it down. But I'll go ahead and explain all those things later and how you can achieve this kind of credit as a college student. So, yeah. So why does having a good credit score even matter in the first place? Well, having a good credit score actually affects many parts of your life, even if you're just starting out. It could mean lower interest rates on loans. It could mean higher approval rates for different credit card applications that you're applying for. It could even mean getting accepted more easily for apartment rentals. So you want to start building your credit as soon as you can, because it affects so many parts of your life. And the earlier you start and the higher your credit score is, the more money you'll save and the less headaches you'll have down the line. So let's get started. Okay, so what is the first step to, building your credit? Well, first you're going to need a credit card. And since you're a student and you have probably no credit history, you're going to want to get a student credit card. And so many credit card companies offer cards specifically for college students with little to no credit history. And these cards often have lower credit limits. But that's actually a good thing in this case, because it helps you build a credit more responsibly since the limit is fairly low. So you want to just start by using it for small and everyday purchases like gas, groceries, or maybe even coffee, things that you can just easily pay off each month. And the key is to use your card responsibly. You want to pay it off in full every month. You want to make sure your payment isn't late. And then this will help you build a strong credit history, and it'll just show creditors that you can manage your credit card well. And as you can see, I'm scrolling through a bunch of different options for student credit cards. And again, like I said, these you do not need any credit history. You do not need any credit history to apply and get accepted into these. And so you can see Capital One Quicksilver student credit card, no credit history needed. This is the Discover student credit card, the Chrome one, which is actually the one I have and I started with. When I first started, I didn't have any credit history, and I still got accepted, and I got a $500 limit that I first started off with. And you can see with most of these, I think with all of these actually, there are no annual fees, which means essentially you do not need to pay any money to own the card. And this is really big, because this means that you can start building your credit score without needing to pay any money, except for the purchases that you make, of course. But yes, and you can also see that they have different rewards. I'm just going to go ahead and focus on the Discover student credit card one, because this is the one that I have and I know most about. But you can see here cashback, and then the reward rate is 1 to 5%. You can see the reward details. It says earn 5% cash back on everyday purchases at different places you shop each quarter, like grocery stores, restaurants, gas stations, etc., etc. And then 1% on every other thing. So, if you're curious about how that works, basically as you spend money and as you pay off your credit loan or your credit, amount, after each quarter, they will give you some money back for using the credit card. So they give you 5% back at grocery stores, restaurants, gas stations, and 1% at every other place, which is really nice because that's essentially free money. But next, I'll go ahead and show you guys, kind of the ins and outs and tips and advice to, how to actually use it, and then how to start building your credit history fast, like really fast. Like I was able to get a pretty good credit score in like maybe 6, 8 months. So yeah. Okay, so for step two, so once you have your credit card and you've, activated it and you've spent some money using it, you want to make sure you pay on time every time. You know, pay your bills on time. And this may sound basic, but it's the most important factor in building your credit. Late payments can have a major negative impact on your credit score, sometimes even for years. So to avoid this, set up reminders on your phone, or if you're someone that forgets easily, just set up auto pay for bills. This will make it so that you will automatically get money taken out of your bank account or whatever you set it up to, and it will automatically pay for your credit card statements. So you'll never miss a payment if you just set that up. And this is a really important thing. So like even if you're struggling to pay the full amount, pay as much as you can. A late payment is way worse for your score than paying just a little less. So if you can, try to pay everything off a full amount and do it on time, and that will ensure you get a good credit score. And if you look at mine here, you can see that in the 3 years since I've had my credit card, I have never missed a payment. And for me, I have automatic payments set up, so like I don't even have to worry about going in and paying the bills. It just automatically takes money out. All I have to worry about is making sure that I have enough money in my bank account for my credit card statements. And here you can see here it's exceptional because I have 0 missed payments. Step 3 is to keep your credit utilization low. And here you can see my credit utilization is 2%. So this means that you shouldn't use more than like 30% of your available credit. For example, if your credit limit is $1,000, you want to aim to keep your balance between 300 and 0. So let's say you start out with a credit card of $500 limit, you'd only want to use 30% of that. So you should never be spending more than 500, like over your limit. Never do that. Always spend it below your limit, and ideally, 30% of your score. And a good rule of thumb is to pay off your balance in full each month. Not only does this help you avoid interest charges, but it also keeps your credit utilization in check, and it helps boost your credit score. And as you can see here, mine is very good. You can see that here I've only used 127 of my available credit, which is just 2%. But I will say there have been times where I've used, really close to like 100% of my revolving utilization, which is not good. But that's just to say that like it's not like you have to use 30%. It's just recommended that you use 30% of your credit card, because there will be times where you need to purchase something and it's way over 30%, and that's okay. Just make sure it's not a common occurrence type of thing. All right, and then for step four is kind of the total number of credit cards you have, or credit accounts or whatever. Don't apply for too many cards. I know some people like to apply for like a gazillion cards for some reason, but if you're just starting out, don't apply for too many credit cards. While it can be tempting to sign up for every credit card offer that, comes your way, especially when you're getting student discounts or rewards, too many credit inquiries in a short period can hurt your credit score, and lenders can see it as a red flag. Instead of doing that, focus on 1 or 2 cards maybe that are easy to manage. And as you continually build your credit, you can always apply for other credit cards after you've already have that foundation set up. And here it says, why do total accounts matter? Creditors want to know you can responsibly manage a mix of credit types. That's why your credit makes blah 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 10%. Basically, if you have a lot of credit cards, it's hard to manage. That's why you don't want too many, and it kind of adds more responsibility for you. So when you're first starting out, just have one credit card. As you can see here, I have one credit card, and then I have an installment loan, which is my car loan. But yes, so the less amount of credit cards you own, the better. Um, I guess when you're first starting out, it's better. Yes. Okay, and then the next step, like how long does it take to get a credit score or to start building your credit? Well, It takes around, I believe I saw it somewhere, it said 6 to 8 months. So building your credit doesn't happen overnight. It can take a few months to start seeing an impact, but with consistency, you should start seeing improvements in about, 6 to 8 to 12 months. The key is to be patient and stay committed to the steps we've just talked about. And as long as you do those steps that we talked about, you will start getting a good credit score. Like I said before, you can see here's my credit score, and I got up to 792 just following those steps. It's not rocket science. Just make sure you're responsible and you kind of stay on top of things. And again, there are tools out there to make sure you're staying on top of things. Like you can set up automatic payments so you don't have to worry about missing payments and such. So just follow those steps, and you will get I guarantee you, at least 700 and plus credit score in like the span of 6 months. A side thing that you can do if you have some credit history already and you've started building some credit, you can always regularly check your credit reports for errors. You can get a free report once a year from all three credit bureaus, things like Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Just make sure you go to this website right here, and then you can request your free credit report. And if you spot any mistakes like incorrect late payments or accounts you don't recognize, you can always dispute them. And fixing errors on your report can improve your score. So, but again, this is after you've already have some credit history and you spot a mistake or such. But you can also do that. So there you have it. That's how you get a good credit score in a very short amount of time as a student. It's, again, not rocket science. You just want to make sure you pay on time, you pay the full amount. You don't want to rush into too many credit cards at one time because it might be too hard to manage. And if you do all those things and you keep your utilization low, you're not spending too much of your credit, then you will guarantee start building a good credit score. And the key is consistency. You want to do all of those steps consistently, over the span of months and years, and eventually you will get a good credit score. Okay, so if you found this video helpful or useful in any way, please feel free to leave a like, a comment, or subscribe. You can also ask me any questions in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get back to you. So thank you. Thanks for watching.